Imagine the number of people that died during the Civil War. Imagine the starvation of children. Imagine abandoned properties. Imagine those killed in the north. Pregnant women, their bellies were opened and children were exterminated. That's one of the greatest evils we ever committed in this country. And we must apologize to the Igbo nation. We must compensate them. And if they are saying they don't want to be in this country, they have a solid point.
The Igbo people need apology from the federal government, because if IBB's book is revealing that wetin we think say na Igbo coup will lead to the Biafra war, will lead to the dying of a lot of Igbos, the starvation of a lot of Igbos, the disastrous impact to their tribe. Do you understand? If at the end of the day IBB's book is telling us that it's not the Igbo coup, then it's crazy. You understand? The federal government need to apologize to these people. By now, sir, to be very honest, normally the whole country is supposed to be on the streets. They're supposed to do a protest.
Hello everyone, welcome back, and thank you so much for stopping by once again. So my people, after IBB highlighted in his new book that 1966 coup, not Igbo coup. So there have been like a lot of reactions and a lot of videos have been coming up, right? But in this particular video, Dr. Charles and as well as a VDM reacted concerning the request from Ohaneze Igbo, saying that federal government or Tinubu need to give them 10 trillion naira as a compensation as well as an apology, which a lot of Igbos have already come out and said that they don't need any money from Nigeria government as well as any apology. Like, all they want is let them fix the date of referendum. But in this particular video, according to Dr. Charles Apoki as well as a very dark man, they are now saying that Nigeria government owns Igbo's apology, like they need to apologize to them. And according to very dark man, he said that they are supposed to be like protests all over the country because of this particular revelation from IBB, because this particular lie has caused a lot of life. People have lost their life, and this has deprived the Igbo their rights in Nigeria. So let me just allow you guys so that you can listen and hear everything they discuss in this particular video. I'm going to be right back.
All right, so the news says Ohaneze seek apology of 10 trillion naira compensation from Tinubu. Well, I don't think it's supposed to be to Tinubu. It's supposed to be to the federal government. Yes, the Igbo people need apology from the federal government, because if IBB's book is revealing that wetin we think say na Igbo coup will lead to the Biafra war, will lead to the dying of a lot of Igbos, the starvation of a lot of Igbos, the disastrous impact to their tribe. Do you understand? If at the end of the day IBB's book is telling us that it's not the Igbo coup, then it's crazy. You understand? The federal government need to apologize to these people. By now, sir, to be very honest, normally the whole country is supposed to be on the streets. They're supposed to do a protest because of this book. They're supposed to do a protest and demand that the federal government apologize to the Igbos. Now, this generational beef don't happen since that coup. There's a generational beef where don't happen since the coup and since Biafra. Some tribes now, they fear. A lot of tribes, they fear because they don't say, okay, yes, they fear say, if Igbo man turn president for this country, that's where Ojuku be won't do. Now the Igbo man go won't do. The Igbo man self go one scatter Nigeria. Do you understand? The Yorubas, from which side they say, because the Yorubas and the Igbo, they always attack themselves for Twitter. The Yorubas go attack Igbos. They go call the Igbos go attack Yorubas, say they be betrayer, and then betray this thing where make Ojuku no get Biafra. The Yorubas go talk their own. Do you understand? But again, that thing, that's cool, has dented the names of the Igbos, where make some tribes does not want an Igbo man to get power. Usually it's supposed to be outside Igbo Yoruba where go enter power. You understand? They're supposed to share them. You get, but for some reason it didn't happen. So I'm also of the opinion that they deserve an apology and they deserve compensation Not just that, there's supposed to be a march across the whole Nigeria for this revelation. And that IBB book self, they're not even supposed, that book not even supposed to be where people they go buy, they read. Although it's good to get the knowledge, but I'm not sure say IBB is supposed to make money from that book. And like I said in my previous post, bro, if the advanced country, that man is supposed to pay for whatever thing he did and all in that June 12th election. And they see for Twitter now, they say, he create a lot of states. He can do that. Do you understand? But, more. Anyways, I follow for the people where they request and they demand apology for the Igbos from the federal government, not from Tinubu. You understand? Because Tinubu no follow for, for the military regime then. Yes, he didn't no follow. So it's from the federal government. Because after Tinubu, the government still there. So it's from the federal government. It's not Tinubu's government, the federal government, the whole structure of the government. The federal government should apologize to the Igbo. And that 10 trillion, yes, no na carry federal government go court. Your generation suffered because of that coup. Not just your generation, because at the end of the day, no be only the Igbos they buy during this thing. My own generation too suffer. The Hausa suffer, the Yoruba suffer because of the lie. A lot of tribes suffered because of that lie. Because of the manipulation, a lot of tribes suffered. No, let me not limit it to the Igbos now. Because of a single lie. And a single narrative. That was an Igbo coup. So yes, they deserve an apology. And yes, all in the favor of a good protest, peaceful protest. So me, if you notice the way I talk since I try coin my word well before they come say very dark man is the one that ignited the fire, or is the one that what be that their English where they use instigated people to go and protest and scatter life and property. I beg, peaceful, peace and love, don't play.
I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. Remember, I am not an Igbo man. I'm an Orobo man. But I hate injustice. I did a video once some time ago. Why do you hate Igbos in their own country? I like Nigeria. I love Nigeria. I love a united Nigeria. But why do you hate Igbos in their own country? And some stupid mumutions, tribal bigots with calcified brains attacked me. I didn't read their responses. Just my son was informing me. Listen, after 56 years, somebody was bold enough to say that it wasn't an Igbo coup in 1966 that killed the then Prime Minister, that subsequently led to the Civil War. I was 7 years old in 1966. I started listening to radio very early. I started reading newspapers very early. So I followed the sequence of events to an extent. Listen, there's something called schema. Schema is the files in your brain based on information that you have heard that forms the framework for your analysis and response to information and to people. And so a great percentage of people of northern extraction had the impression that the Igbos were the ones who planned the coup. And it has turned out to be untrue from Babangida's reports and from the reports of several others, including Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu. I have lived with the Igbos. They are not the picture your evil fathers painted for you or painted to you that is determining your reaction to them. There might be few unscrupulous people, just like in every other tribe. But the Igbos are very, very patriotic citizens. Imagine the number of people that died during the Civil War. Imagine the starvation of children. Imagine abandoned properties. Imagine those killed in the north. Pregnant women, their bellies were opened and children were exterminated. That's one of the greatest evils we ever committed in this country. And we must apologize to the Igbo nation. We must compensate them. And if they are saying they don't want to be in this country, they have a solid point. Let me just continue with this video. Let me not break the videos up. Now, one of the heroes of June 12 was an Igbo man, Professor Humphrey Wonsu. Professor Humphrey Wonsu was the chairman of NEC, National Electoral Commission. He insisted on doing the right thing. They were supposed to be given national awards. He conducted the freest and fairest election in the history of Nigeria, June 12. Despite all the pressures for him to do contrary, he insisted on the right thing being done. He was intimidated, he was threatened, but he stood his ground until one justice, I called his name in the other video, I can't remember his name now, passed a judgment. One Ikpeme passed placed an order. 12 at night, passed an order at night. Her court held at night. Whether it was a coven, I don't know. And then the justice from the north stopped the release of the results. I told you that Kama is not an Indian. Kama is not an Indian. He is all over the world. That man died of COVID during the time of COVID. Professor Humphrey Wonsu died on October 24th, 2024. He will be buried March 28th, 2025. He was interviewed by Showore Sahara reporters 10 years ago, and he gave his reasons. He gave his own narration that Abiola won the June 12 election. He is an Igbo man from Anambra State. I believe that he deserves a national honor. I believe that the INEC office should be named after Professor Humphrey Wonsu. Why? With barest resources, with barest technology, he was able to conduct the freest and fairest election. He was an Igbo man. It was a Yoruba man, a Muslim, and King Gibe, another Muslim that won. But the Igbo man insisted that he should be made president. He declared the results that he won. Now, with so much technology, beavers, whatever, IREV, we gave billions to somebody. I call you name now, go say they do cyberbullying. They gave you billions. You couldn't conduct an election freely and fairly. Beavers was turning round and round. Listen, karma will catch up with you. If you want to write a book You, before the launching of the book, karma will catch up with you. Your wickedness will affect you as your affairs, your wickedness affected people and their generations. It will also affect you. Wicked people. Professor Humphrey Wonsu deserves a national award. President Tinubu, you were part of the struggle for June 12. Name INEC building after Professor Humphrey Wonsu so that any person approaching that building will know, like as Chinua Achebe wrote, there was a country, that there was an election. Do this for fair play and justice. I'm going to do another video on some northern officers, Colonel Umar and his group, that wanted Abiola to be installed as president. I will do another video about Yoruba elders that ganged up against Abiola. So remove this schema from your brain where you have Yoruba Ronu, you have Arewa, you have stupid ideas in your brains that make you tribal bigots and idiots according to the Greek philosophy of politics. With a vex, so our elders are passing away. The baton is coming to us, the next group of elders. We must tell the truth so that our children can be set free. There is no Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa in this country, or Fulani in this country. It is only wicked, selfish bandits. Banditry, according to Marco Cipolla, is when people take from the country without contributing to it. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki, area grandfather, the vex. The vexo. 56 years of mislabeling a tribe, a nation, the Igbo nation. 56 years. Now these cowards are talking. I'm Dr. Charles Apoki. I have a webinar coming up on the, the 14th and on the 15th of March. Send a message to +234 80 21 21 92 62.
So my people, that is it. I hope you guys had everything Dr. Charles Apoki said, as well as very dark man. So let's just read out some comments on my last video, where I also talk about what Ohanaeze Ndigbo said, as well as Rufai reacted, saying that that was not Igbo coup. So Kennedy Ihuoma said, please, Ohanaeze Ndigbo should focus on referendum rather than asking for money. What will the 10 trillion naira do to those who lost their lives? A war that took over the lives of over 3 million Biafrans. What Biafrans want is their own nation, because they are not welcome in that contraction called Nigeria. Very true, which I believe that he has spoken the minds of many Igbos. And also Godliness said, what surprises me is that after the 1966 coup, there have been other coups, especially by the North. Why have we not been hearing Northern coup or heard the North? People will receive their fruits of their evil seed. Exactly. You guys know that after January 1966 coup, there have been like a lot of coup, which they claim that is not coup. It's just reaction of a January 1966 coup. That lead to buying of many Igbos, especially in the northern part of Nigeria. And that's what led to Biafra war. So my people, whatever these people did in order to tag this Igbo coup, they did it intentionally, and it is really, really working for them. Thank God for this particular one that IBB wrote in his book, even though that a lot of people have been saying it that it's not Igbo coup. But I think this particular one IBB reviewed is making waves. So I don't know what you think. Just as I always said that through comment we all learn. So leave your honest opinion in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Share the video and also give me a thumbs up in this particular video so that YouTube will recommend it for other people to watch. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. And I will see you guys in my next update. Goodbye for now.
Welcome to Nigerians Reacts TV.